Alright, before I get started with this video, I want to show you what we saw in Mineola today. We had about 1 3/4 inches of rain, and the tracks were flooded. And this was the rain had stopped for it had been stopped for about a half an hour, and there's water on the tracks. This is a classic example of the kind of neglect we are dealing with. So you can see the water on the tracks. This can't be good for the tracks. It can't be good for the track bed, and yet there was not an employee on site to fix this. It's a classic example of the neglect that we're dealing with in Mineola, just purely because of the demographics, just because it's not, it's a mixed town with all kinds of people. It's not homogeneously, we are neglected. We are neglected in the middle of the island. And so this is going to be a look at some of the flooding and a rant about it, because I'm really getting livid about it. I'm going to take a short video of the flooding here in Mineola from the rain today. We'll have to look at the rainfall totals in this weather report, but you will see there's quite a bit of flooding here. This is like clear neglect here. I mean, look at this flooding here. And they don't even attempt to fix this drainage issue. And these kind of things are what causes service problems. I mean, look at this flooding here. It's not like we had tons and tons of rain here, but this is very disturbing. This is the kind of neglect we deal with here on the main line. This is very bad because this water gets into track circuits and stuff and causes all kinds of problems. This is really bad. More flooding. There's more flooding. Train is coming in the other direction, but this is terrible. By neglect. It's exactly what I mean by neglect. This will actually wind up being its own video. Look at this. Look at all this flooding. Here comes a diesel train. This is what I mean. Look at this flooding. This could be a service problem. There must be a drain clogged somewhere. This is very bad. This is a non-stud. That's a Port Jefferson train. That doesn't. I think the first stop on that is Syosset or Huntington or something like that. I don't even think it stops at Hicksville. It's an express, but look at this flooding. It's unbelievable. Look at this. This is the way we're treated here on the main line. This is another example. And this has to do with the weather, so definitely warranted taking a video of it. This is terrible. This is absolutely awful. Oh, I hear a vagrant yelling at someone. Oh yeah, I see the vagrant. There he is. He's over there. There he is. Yep, vagrants and flooding. So there you go, folks. And it looks like somebody just dropped their umbrella on the tracks. Uh-oh. This person's going to try to reach it. Yeah, they got it, luckily. So there you go, folks. Neglect here in Mineola. Flooded out. And there's another vagrant over there. So, just wonderful times here in Mineola. Wonderful times. Yep, and there's the vagrant over there. You can see him. He's approaching people for money.
Attention Long Island Railroad customers. The 4:21 p.m. train to Huntington is expected to arrive on track 2, platform B, in approximately 3 minutes.
No MTA police in sight. Awesome. This is what we get here in Mineola. This is what we get. Main line left for dead. And due to climate change, we're going to have more flooding. And watch, ironically, even though the pretty little Babylon branch is on the South Shore, we'll be dealing with shutdowns due to flooding because of things like this. And this is where we come to News 12. And I got to rant about this because I'm tired of the way we're getting ignored in Mineola right now. So this is on the spot yesterday. Did it in preppy Patchogue. You can see all the uppity people there in a trendy place there. And basically they're talking about Labor Day and the worst job. And there were insults thrown at, there were insults thrown basically at Roy Rogers and some places that I like to go to, obviously, because they like to make fun of, they got to eat at a fancy restaurant. Eating at fast food is beneath them. So News 12, here's preppy News 12 here. Replacement of Venice-style bridges completed. But that's not really what News 12 got on my nerves with today. News 12 got on my nerves with this. So we're going to look at the more top stories, and we're going to go to this story here about Patchogue. So let's find it here. Here it is. So Suffolk assigns an additional officer to patrol downtown Patchogue. Now, we all know downtown Patchogue is a very, very trendy place. Interesting enough, they don't have the full story on here. But on tonight's news, they spent about a minute and 30 seconds talking about Patchogue because they are saying that they have an issue with panhandlers in Patchogue. I've been to Patchogue. There's hardly any panhandlers there. It's all preppy. The downtown does great. Hardly any panhandlers. Meanwhile, I've contacted News 12 about panhandling in Mineola, and I got blown off. Yes, I contacted News 12. I contacted their help desk. I emailed them, and I contacted them. This is my email here to them, all right? We need help in Mineola. Our train station is overrun with homeless and panhandlers, and they are harassing people who are buying tickets at the TVM. Have reached out to my elected officials at the county, state, and MTA, and the problem is only getting worse. And what happens? What happens? I get blown off. This is almost a week ago that I contacted them, and they completely blew us off. This is why I'm mad as hell about this. So you can understand why I'm a little angry and a little mad because I contacted News 12 and they blew me off. This is what people have to deal with in Mineola. Being harassed for money. Panhandling. Camped out on couches. Homeless everywhere. And nobody seems to care about what we are going through in this town. Nobody seems to care about the vagrants that hang out at the train station that make people feel unsafe. Nothing is done about it. We don't get help. All we do is get blown off. And we are tired of it. This affects me because I have to use that station almost every day. And yes, I noticed that they're moving a lot of freight trains through too. So all the freight trains go to the middle of the island too. And we get to deal with that too as well. Yep, we all get to deal with that too. Meanwhile, in Patchogue, in lily white, preppy, super preppy Patchogue, everything's taken care of. Oh, we want our people to feel safe. Even though it's already good, it's not good enough. It's not good enough for these snobs. They get the best of everything. In their own little preppy little world, in their own little haven, in their own little enclave, and they get all the attention. Their benches can be slightly, they call that disrepair. Well, I'll show you disrepair. Look at this sidewalk in Mineola. That's disrepair. These sidewalks are broken all over the place, and nobody gives a crap. No, it's always about the South Shore. It's always about them. Yes, this is horrible. Hate against LGBT is horrible. But what if it happened in Mineola, you know it wouldn't be covered. It's all about these lily-white, stuck-up, snobby people. It's all about them. It's all about them. And I'm sorry this is going to be a bad rant, but this is what I got to deal with. Overgrown weeds. This is Hicksville. The whole middle of the island is going down. And nobody cares. Nobody reports on it. The Pine Barrens are getting ignored. It's all about the South Shore. It's always about them and their enclaves that we're not allowed to live in. In their own little preppy trains where they're sitting there all comfortable, while we're all jammed up like sardines on our comfortable train just because we're not lily-white finance professionals. What kind of crap is this? They want us out. They want us to live in New Jersey. It's clear as hell that they want us to live in New Jersey. Well, I'm going to fight as hard as I can that I don't have to wind up in New Jersey. But that's what they want, and so far they're winning. And if we can't stand up and do something, this is why I'm making another rant video, because my viewers need to step up their game and start making some rants to help us. Alright? The media doesn't care. Our politicians doesn't care. We're getting ignored while the bums and the dirt and the illegals and the garbage and the neglect are dumped in our communities just because we're not with Wall Street. This crap's got to end. I need your help. Thank you for watching.